Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, systemic racism, white privilege, the oppression of black people. We are told on a consistent basis when it comes to this daggone country that this kind of thing is running rampant. That's what we're told. We're told this, okay? So let's get into it. Would you like to discuss it? Want me to give you an example of systemic racism, of white privilege, of the oppression of black people? Let's get into it then. Emily Rose Garver, an 18-year-old white girl, okay? An 18-year-old white girl is caught rigging an election, a homecoming election, by gaining unauthorized access to the school district's internal system. Boy, I'm having a sudden case of deja vu. Aren't you? Rigging an election, gaining unauthorized access, changing, manipulating votes. Just saying. Anyway, she was caught, and it was her fault. You shouldn't do that. You should not do that, okay? Plain and simple. And she will learn her lesson. She will most likely be convicted of her crimes and sent to prison. Okay? Remember, white privilege, systemic racism, and the oppression of black people. Okay? Now, she shouldn't have done what she did. She should not have done what she did. And I look forward to justice for for the crimes she committed. You want to know what else you shouldn't do, though? You want to know what else? You shouldn't try to carjack an Uber driver with another young lady in tow with, or armed with a taser. Speed off in the man's car. Speed off in the man's car with the guy still holding on to his property, because why let go of the car that I paid for, that I bought? Am I really going to let these two young ladies just drive off in my car? Unfortunately, in doing so, the two young ladies crashed the car, killed the Uber driver, flee the scene, only to return back to get her cell phone that she dropped at the scene of the crime. Ladies and gentlemen, that is also their fault. These two black ladies, two black teens, they should not be out carjacking, needless to say. But remember, systemic racism, white privilege, the oppression of black people. These people should not have done what they did, but they did it. And now as a result, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the justice. There will be none. There is no justice. Why? Because the two black teens will not be tried as an adult. The two black teens have indeed reached a plea agreement, and these two black teens will not face any jail time for negligent homicide. However, that white girl will most likely be charged as an adult. Actually, no, the white girl will be charged as an adult. The white girl does indeed face a maximum of 16 years in prison. And the white girl will likely be convicted. But remember, white privilege, systematic racism, the oppression of black people. I keep repeating this because I'm honestly sick. I'm honestly sick and tired of the constant narrative that's being promulgated on a consistent basis when it comes to this mentality or this ideology that black people can do no wrong. Black people, when they commit crimes, it's not our fault. Oh, you've heard the stories. You've heard that college professor who said that black people who've been attacking Asians, the Asian community, this rise in crime when it comes to the Asian community, it's not because of the criminal. It's not because of criminality. It's not because black people have been getting a free pass when it comes to the punishment of their crimes. No. This has everything to do with white privilege. A black man attacking an Asian has to do with white privilege. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. We are constantly excusing criminality. We are rewarding skin color with lighter sentences. I need to say this one more time for those in the nosebleed section. We are rewarding skin color with lighter sentences. We are excusing criminality for those only with darker skin. If you are a white person, you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. If you are a white person, you will have the book thrown at you, as I'm sure young Emily will now figure out and experience in this situation. But if you are a black person, you can skate. You will get a slap on the wrist. And this is something I consider not equal. This is not equal justice under the law. And I know I'm going to hear it. I know I'm going to catch the flack. Oh, look at you. You're always talking about black people. Oh, look at you. Oh, you're not one of us. This is the black community, the black liberal saying this. Oh, you're not one of us. Oh, you always talking. No, I'm talking about what's right and what's fair and what's just. And what's right and what's fair and what's just is that there should be equal justice under the law. Okay? It's that simple. If you commit negligent homicide, if you kill someone in the process of committing a crime, you need to be punished. It's that simple. I don't want to hear no excuses. This is not white, some type of white, it's the white people, somehow it's white people's fault for this young black woman going and committing a murder, committing a killing by carjacking, doing something she knows not to do. This is nothing. I don't want to hear the excuses. Because all you're doing is excusing criminality. All you're doing is you're pampering the black community to the point where we feel we can do whatever we want and we will not be prosecuted. And guess what? The justice system is showcasing that is indeed correct. I have a problem with that. I want my community to thrive. I want my community to get better. And the only way we're going to get better is if we take accountability, self-responsibility, and accountability for our actions. And we cannot do so with people pampering us, patting us on the butt, patting us on the head, and saying that whatever we do, it's okay, you get a free pass. We don't need a free pass. We need self-accountability and responsibility. Killing a person should be punished. We see that. We saw what happened with Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. If you believe that this man deserves to be convicted of these crimes, Derek Chauvin, you believe that Derek Chauvin should be convicted of the crimes that he committed, then I don't want to hear not near one excuse about why these two black women are not going to face harsher penalties for their crime. They took a life, and the taking of a life should not land you on some type of probationary situation. It just shouldn't. You need to go to jail. You took a life, you need to spend your life in jail. But that's not what's happening here. But remember, white privilege, systemic racism, the oppression of black people. Or should I actually say black privilege? Should I say black privilege? Should I say systemic racism against whites? Should I say the oppression of white people? Just saying.